Hey there, it's Jeremy here from GradAustralia and Prosper. I'm here with the team from Allens, speaking in regards to what their offering is to grads and cadets. So Lauren, Manreet and Rachel. And so I wanted to know and get a bit of an understanding about what does Allens actually do?
So Allens is a top-tier commercial law firm. We have practice groups across litigious and transactional teams, and we service many clients, including 75 of Australia's top 100 companies.
I wanted to know and get a little bit of a deeper understanding as to why your organisation actually hires graduates and cadets.
So we have this philosophy at Allens that we like to recruit from the bottom up, so making sure that we're building that talent pipeline from that junior levels. What's quite interesting is we found out recently how many of our partnership were actually grads themselves. And we were all pretty astonished to hear that so many of them started back when they were a clerk or back when they were a grad. So it's just nice to see that our leadership team were actually at that bottom level. They understand what it's like to be a grad. They know the kind of challenges that they face as they're coming through, and they like to hone and kind of develop those grads as they're coming through as well.
In regards to what graduates, clerks and students actually do in their first year on the job, is there any sort of insight that you can give us there?
Yeah, sure. So our graduates start at Allens with a really tailored 2-week induction program. So they'll start to really learn about the firm and kind of cement themselves in their cohorts and get to know the national cohort. They'll also go through their training for their graduate diploma of legal practice. So they'll get admitted typically at the end of the year, which is a really exciting time for the firm. And then they'll go through that whole first year, a really heavy focus on a lot of learning and development sessions that they run, lots of social activities. They join committees and all sorts of things to, I guess, kind of bond them.
Just getting really familiar with the sort of company culture and getting accustomed to the way you guys work.
Yeah, and we offer 2 12-month rotations, so our grads will be allocated to a practice group of their choice for 12 months. And we think the benefits of that is that you get to often see matters right through to the end, or you get to develop your skills in a bit more depth by being in a team for longer and really embedding yourself into that team and kind of learning the ropes for a bit more time.
What's exciting as well is we have an alliance with Linklaters, who are a Magic Circle firm headquartered out of London. And what we offer is, as part of our second year of the grad rotation, you can apply to go to London, Hong Kong or Singapore for the whole year. So that's really exciting to provide that global opportunity as well, because I'm not sure how many firms have that opportunity.
Oh, that's really unique. Fantastic. Okay. So the next question I had was in regards to what is one of the most challenging aspects of your program overall, just for grads who are looking to get a bit of an insight into what those aspects are. Sorry.
I think probably that transition from being a student to the corporate environment can be probably quite a big challenge. Basic things. How do I sign off an email? Do I knock on someone's door? Can I just go in? Those little kind of etiquette pieces are probably quite a big adjustment for students. But we do provide a lot of training, I guess, not just on the technical legal side of things, but on developing, communication skills, how do you build rapport with clients and that type of thing. So we do focus a lot on that. But I imagine for a lot of students, that's a really big adjustment and kind of challenges them.
Yeah, and what we have is every grad is assigned a performance coach who is typically a partner who will kind of oversee their development over the course of the grad program. In each of the rotations, and then we assign them a buddy as well. So that's typically someone at that associate lawyer level who's been in their shoes, knows all the kind of stupid questions, not really stupid question, that they're going to ask, and can make sure that they feel like they're supported as they're going through the program as well.
Fantastic. Okay. The next question I had was in regards to what your ideal candidate looks like. So of course there's a wide variation of candidates going to apply, but in terms of other aspects like soft skills or attitude or anything like that, what does your candidate look like?
I think we're looking for, the bottom line is we're looking for candidates that are just open-minded and willing to give it a go, and that's the attitude that we're looking for, someone that wants to come in and have a go at kind of whatever's thrown their way. I think resilience is another big one, curiosity and creativity as well.
I know, it's a really hard one. We were actually in a session earlier this morning about being transparent with students, and one of the questions that came out was around, when we go on our website and say, this is what we're looking for, X, Y, and Z, you'll often have students that are like, oh, I don't know if I have those things, and they self-select out. And because we want to try and be inclusive for everyone, we're really trying to encourage more students to apply.
I wanted to know, what is the most common mistake that candidates make when doing an application or conducting an interview?
I think it's so, it sounds really basic, but just not double checking or having your mum, your partner, your friend read over your application, because I think the amount that we see that are addressed to the wrong firm or to the wrong person or blank complete insert firm here kind of thing, it's such a small thing to double check, but attention to detail in this profession is huge. So you just want to be getting that right from the very beginning.
Yeah, and I think at interview, it's important to just be yourself. I think often we see candidates that feel like they need to fit into a certain mould or act a certain way or use particular vocabulary, but really the interview is just about getting to know the candidate in a bit more detail, and also for the candidate to learn more about the firm as well. So yeah, I think just bringing yourself, your real self, to the interview.
Yeah, and I think one bit of advice that I would give to students is to get to know the recruiters earlier on in their university career, if you like, because if we recognise you or know your name and we have met you before, it's easier for us to be able to kind of track your trajectory before you apply for clerkship. So say you apply, oh, there's Jeremy, I wonder how he's going, etc. Reach out on LinkedIn, just really use your networking skills. I know the word networking is totally frowned upon, it's like what we're doing here. But I think it's really important to be resourceful and pull on those people that you know. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you all so much for your time today. This has been really insightful, and I'm sure many students on GradAustralia will really appreciate this insight from you all. So I really want to thank you, and looking forward to working with you next year and having all of your opportunities live on GradAustralia and our partner network.
Thanks, Jeremy.